As we stand at the precipice of 2024, it's very clear that this is going to be an interesting and a tumultuous year. And if you are a current or aspiring leader, there are a couple trends that you have to be aware of, a couple trends that you must pay attention to if you want to succeed and thrive in this year. So there are 8 trends that I'm going to be talking about today. What exactly are those 8 trends? Well, we'll get into that in just a second, but before I do, please remember to hit that subscribe button so you can get access to more content like this every single week designed to help make you a better leader. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. My name is Jacob. I've written 5 books on leadership, the future of work, and employee experience. I've worked with over 2,000 CEOs and leaders. And basically, I devote this channel and videos like this to share a lot of the things that I learn from speaking, from interviewing, from advising these business leaders. I take all that information and I share it with you. So having said that, let's jump right into these top 8 trends for 2024. Okay, number 1, leading with vulnerability. Now, it's not a coincidence that my recent book behind me somewhere, there it is called Leading with Vulnerability. And really the idea for this trend is that I think in 2024, we're going to see much more of an emphasis on bringing in together competence with connection. For the past few years, we've been very focused on feelings and emotions and connecting with people, which is great. There's still value in that. And Brené Brown pioneered a lot of the work in vulnerability, but I feel like we've over-indexed a little bit too much in that area, and we forgot about the role that competence, that leadership, that performance plays in successful leadership and being a successful employee. And so I hope 2024, what I'm seeing from a lot of the interviews I'm doing, a lot of the speaking engagements I'm doing, is we're bringing back that conversation of competence, of leadership, of being good at your job, and not using vulnerability as a way to justify poor performance. So 2024, the year of both competence and connection. Leadership trend number 2, kind of building on top of that, is work ethic. Similar to trend number 1, I feel like what has happened over the past few years, and I'm hearing this consistently from various business leaders, is that there is a perception that we have seen a collective decline in work ethic. In other words, people who are willing to make sacrifices, to go above and beyond, to do what is required, to push themselves, to get outside their comfort zone. It almost feels like in 2024, telling somebody to work hard is almost like a bad word. Like, oh, did you just tell me to work hard? No, I can't do that, right? It's almost like Mike Rowe calls it these delicate snowflakes. And I think we're very much seeing a lot of that mentality. And so I think 2024, we're going to see much more of a return to work ethic, right? The whistle while you work mentality, doing hard things, being okay, talking about sacrifices, being open and honest and transparent about what's required to be successful inside of an organization, not being scared to talk about these things. It is okay to talk about working hard. I have immigrant parents that came from the former USSR. My entire value system was built on top of this idea of working hard. And you know what? If you don't want to work hard, that's fine. But then you should be realistic with the expectations and the outcomes that you're going to have. If you want to be a senior leader, an executive, a CEO, you want to make an impact, you have these big goals and dreams and aspirations, you're not going to get there without working hard. So 2024 is going to be the year where leaders, where organizations, where we collectively are okay with saying, we are good with working hard to achieve the things that we want to achieve. No more of this lazy girl jobs, Sunday scaries, the Monday morning blues, no more of any of that BS. It's time to get to work to get things done if we want to achieve big things. Trend number 3, employee experience. I'm actually working on the second version of my book, The Employee Experience Advantage, which came out half a decade ago. And one of the really interesting things that I'm seeing is that employee experience is making a huge resurgence in terms of conversation, in terms of investment, in terms of what we're talking about inside of organizations around the world. I'm getting emails from people where it says employee experience in their job titles. So I think 2024 is going to be a huge resurgence, a huge revival, a huge push towards employee experience, especially post-pandemic. Not to say that this has died off in any way, but I think it plateaued and it got a little bit quiet. And now I think it's really becoming one of the top talent and business trends for organizations around the world. And employee experience, again, culture, technology, space, 3 environments that you can focus on. So expect to see a lot more investment, a lot more focus, and a lot more priority on that in 2024. The next trend, focusing on skills, not jobs. There used to be a time, and I went through this, where if you had a job in marketing, you were a marketing manager, and then your next job would be a senior marketing manager, marketing director, senior marketing director, VP, blah, 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 blah. You get the point, and hopefully one day you would become the CMO of an organization. That's the career path I thought I was going to take. And this is the similar career path that exists in whatever role that you're in. If you're in customer service, if you're in research and development, if you're in innovation, if you're in operations, you basically focus on climbing that single career path that you have. And we were very focused on jobs. It's kind of like early on in your career, you decide which train track you want to get on. Once you're on that train track, you go. And that's it. Maybe occasionally the track might switch, but more often than not, you're going in that straight path. You're focused on that single role. 2024, big push, moving away from focusing on the role that you're in to focusing on the skills that you have. What does that mean? Well, it means taking a look at the skills that you have and then examining on what are the different roles where those skills can be applied. So for example, if you are in customer service, break down some of those skills that you have. Well, you're patient, you're a great communicator, you're a great collaborator, you're probably organized, you have a lot of great people skills. If you break that down and you see, well, where else can that be applied? What are the other roles and functions where that's relevant? Maybe you decide that, hey, I want to make a pivot. Maybe now more relevant in HR, or maybe more relevant in marketing. So really what we're going to see in 2024 is the idea of valuing and investing in individual skills and figuring out where those skills can be applied in different roles and different jobs instead of just picking one job and going down with it. This gives you much more flexibility in shaping your career path and your career trajectory. Trend number 5 is hybrid work. Not a new trend. This has been around for a while, but especially now we're seeing this big battle between employees and leaders of organizations. Employees are saying, I don't want to come into the office. Leaders are saying, no, you're coming to the office. And employees are saying, no, I'm not. And the leaders are saying, yes, you are. So hybrid work, this is the idea of finding that balance. A lot of the research out there says that the best balance is 3 days in the office, 2 days from home. And you know what? I think that's fair. So 2024, I think, is going to be the year where we stabilize and normalize hybrid work, where we figure out what that right balance is for your organization. It's not going to be the same for everybody, but putting in rules, policies, guidelines, frameworks, not having it just be random all over the place, but really having some structure around it and making hybrid work a reality. I think 2024 is going to be the year of that. Trend number 6 is AI and technology. So AI and technology, this is really about embracing AI to make the organization more human, not less human. It's not about using technology as a way to create distance between employees or between employees and customers, but to shrink that distance between employees and customers. So how do we do that? How do we make the organization more human? Generative AI, things like ChatGPT, is able to do pretty much everything. Write content, create graphics, analyze data. What does that mean for humans? We have to focus on the human aspect of work, and it's okay to let technology take away these mundane aspects of the roles and functions that we have to focus more on the human aspects of work. So 2024 is going to be the big year of technology and AI, replacing those mundane aspects of work and really allowing us to focus on the human elements of work. Empathy, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, leading with vulnerability, coaching and mentoring others. All of these things are so crucial. 2024 is going to make all of that come to light. Number 7, this is a big one. This is political, economic, and geopolitical issues. We're talking about wars. We're talking about inflation. We're talking about what's going on in different parts of the world. Never before have we seen so many external factors start to impact internal factors as far as how we lead and how we think about business, conversations that we're okay with happening inside of our organization, conversations we might be trying to ban inside of our organization, the importance of leaders taking a stance on certain issues. So this is a big trend, because really what this means is that leaders are going to have to navigate the global dynamics of business and careers, looking at geopolitics, the economy, and politics as a whole. Reading the news, paying attention to external factors and sources, and really being able to take a stance and have conversations on these issues and understanding how they might impact the way work gets done. And trend number 8, the last trend on here, is thinking like a futurist, envisioning. One of the big challenges of leadership is that we have always been focused on a linear way of thinking. The analogy I always like to use is playing chess. The idea was, you think, well, I'm going to move my pawn, my opponent might move their bishop, and then I'm going to move this. That's one way thinking. Chess players think, well, my opponent might move their bishop or their pawn or their queen, and if they do any one of those things, this is how I'm going to respond. Envisioning and thinking like a futurist is really about trying to anticipate future trends, think in terms of scenarios and possibilities instead of in terms of singular paths. And of course, 2024, a lot of stuff happening in the world. We have elections going on. We have a turbulent economy. There's just so much happening out there that we have to be thinking in terms of those different scenarios and possibilities. What if this? What if that? What do we do here? What might we do there? So really having a sense of thinking like a futurist, I think, is going to be very, very important. Again, different paths instead of a single path. That's going to be a huge trend and a very important skill for leaders to develop. So these are the top trends for leaders for 2024. Leading with vulnerability, work ethic, employee experience, skills not jobs, hybrid work and technology, political, economic, and geopolitical issues, and envisioning and thinking like a futurist. So pay attention to those trends. Those are going to be shaping leadership, your career, your job, your organization in 2024 like you cannot believe. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with a friend, another leader, somebody you want to see more successful in their roles and in their organization. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and you want more content like this, please hit that subscribe button and you'll get access to one of these videos every single week. Thanks for watching.